So yeah, thanks for the introduction, James. So yeah, my name's Jimmy and I head up customer acquisition and CRM at Fit. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how we 5x our growth in 10 months. So for those of you who haven't heard of Fit, who are we? So Fit is an interactive fitness platform that pushes our members to level up. So we provide over 600 killer home workouts led by world-class trainers. And in terms of the interactivity piece, we calibrate with over 40 wearable devices in which enables users to view their stats and track their progress. And in terms of community features, we allow users to compete with one another on a live leaderboard. And then we have many training plans and monthly challenges for the community to get involved with as well. So let me take you back in time. So a time before COVID hit and we had some form of normality in the world. Fit was coming up to its second birthday, so we'd already done a ton of work to be able to position ourselves in a relatively healthy place. So Fit was already ranked the #1 rated fitness app in the UK App Store. We were available on both iOS and Android at the time in the UK and Ireland. We'd had over 600,000 classes completed by our engaged community, and we were offering 18 training plans and over 400 classes that were led by 20 industry-leading PTs. And on average, our users were taking 2.5 classes per week. Then we all know what happened next. Our worlds changed dramatically, and so did the fitness industry. So roll on to January 2021. The landscape is kind of completely different from a digital fitness perspective. The industry has been accelerated at a fairly fast pace, and Fit is now part of the discussion in terms of some of the leading options that are out there in the market. So we're actually now being touted as the fitness app to beat versus Apple Fitness Plus and Peloton, and that was by Wired Magazine and Men's Health. Now it's incredible that Fit, our small startup from East London, is even in the same sort of discussion as Apple Fitness Plus, so Apple being one of the most valuable companies in the world, and Peloton is the most valuable fitness company in the world. The fact that we're even being spoken about in the same breath is incredible, but to be coming out on top is even better. We're now available across 4 platforms. We're available on iOS, Android, Sky Q, and Amazon Fire. We've had over 5 million classes completed, and we now offer over 30 training plans and over 650 classes. And on average, our users are taking over 3 classes per week. So it's a very, very interesting and different time for the fitness industry. So having a look at kind of how the industry is made up currently, or what it looked like in 2020, is that digital fitness probably made up 6% of the fitness market. Now it's estimated that come 2027, digital fitness will make up 35% of the fitness market. So digital fitness is accelerating. A lot happened this year to accelerate that growth. So a lot more people are discovering digital fitness as a solution to going to a physical space, as they just weren't able to in 2020 and early 2021. There's been a few surveys as to what's going to happen when lockdown comes to an end, where in the US and in Europe, it's claimed that over 50% of users won't be going back to the gym. Now, we don't believe that to be the case. We believe that there's going to be a hybrid whereby customers and users are going to be using a combination of both physical and digital offerings, but we certainly believe that digital fitness has a place working alongside physical spaces. So why do we believe digital fitness is growing? So from a very top line perspective, it's cheaper. So if you compare the price of the average digital fitness solution versus a physical space, it probably comes in considerably under cost. It's more convenient, so you can do it from home. All you need is kind of a mobile, tablet, or TV to get set up, and you're on your way. The experience is nearly as good as you were able to get in a physical space. If you connect to a big TV, it's a fairly immersive experience, it's fairly interactive, and the technology is ever improving. And of course, the most important point for now is that it's pandemic proof. There are, however, drawbacks to digital fitness. It's not as social, and it lacks the sense of community that you would get in a physical space. And there is an initial capital outlay. So for example, if you need to purchase hardware to get set up, and then of course to have the most well-rounded fitness experience, you're likely going to have to buy some equipment along the way. So whether it be weights, kettlebells, or bands. So how Fit got to where we have got to. So before the pandemic hit, so kind of at the end of 2019 and at the start of 2020, we really wanted to be laser focused on 4 things, and they are positioning, product growth, partnerships, and performance. So starting with positioning, At the end of 2019, we made the decision to be laser focused on a certain user who we had coined as Ali. Now, Ali isn't someone that sits in a certain demographic, but what Ali is an individual that has a mindset to constantly improve. So whether they're at the start of their fitness journey or someone at the advanced end, you know, their mindset is to be able to better themselves, constantly improve and level up. We built a super engaged community of fitness lovers. We hear incredible stories of our users who have never met one another before, who live at opposite ends of the UK, but they are taking classes together on a regular basis because they connected through our platform. We've built features that promote community and engagement and interactivity, such as live leaderboard classes and community challenges, that really tries to negate the fact that you can't be with people and train with people at the moment. We've built products that provide us scale and allow us to become more accessible. So in the last year, we built 2 TV apps and we're looking to kind of build that out. And that's all part of playing into the ecosystem that we believe Ali is in, and ensuring that we're able to provide a service across all of the most popular platforms that we can. The second point is product growth. So as I've mentioned, we doubled down on building community features such as live leaderboard classes, so users are able to compete with one another. We actually have every weekend, we have something called Game Day, in which is getting thousands of entrants at the moment, and we have users competing on a live leaderboard at a specific time. And usually there's amazing goodies and prizes that are up for grabs, and the community are loving competing with one another. It's actually quite surprising if someone says they're not competitive and then they wouldn't be interested in going onto a live leaderboard class. As soon as you get that individual into a leaderboard class, the competitive nature comes out in them. We've also built lots of challenges that engage our entire community. So whether you're someone that's a beginner or someone at the advanced end, our challenges are for everybody. And they're a way that really allows our community to motivate each other and take these challenges as a community together. We also built a feature in 2020 which allowed private group classes to be taken. So whether that was at a small scale with you and a couple of friends, or whether that was at a larger scale where you could invite 20 friends or so, that was all down to the individual. So you could schedule it whenever you wanted. And it kind of made up for the fact that you aren't able to have that social element that you once were in a physical space. I used to love on a weekend going to a new gym or a new boutique studio with a friend and then grabbing some lunch after. So what private group classes allowed you to do is have that connectivity, but without doing it physically. We also built the functionality to socially follow your friends on our platform, which allowed you to be notified when any activity was being done by anyone that you followed. So whether they were starting a training plan, whether they booked into a class, or they'd done something by achieving, you know, their 100th class or achieving a milestone. And all of this was underpinned by our referral mechanic. So we incentivize users for bringing on their friends onto our platform through a referral program. The third point is partnerships. So going back kind of 18 months to 2 years, kind of Fit was working with a handful of partners, and we were really working hard to go out and kind of have these partnerships with bigger brands. Roll on kind of early 2020 and the landscape was completely different. I think a lot of big brands were looking at digital fitness solutions as whether it was a proposition to help them through this difficult time, or they were seeing that the market was accelerating at a fast pace and it's likely to continue even when things open up again. So we wanted to ensure that Fit was part, again, of an open ecosystem. So one thing that potentially sets us apart from some of our competition is that Fit can be part of an open ecosystem. So if you compare us to someone like Apple, Apple will always try and keep their users on the same platform, whereas we're happy to allow our product to be on many platforms, connect with many devices, as long as it's right for the customer. And by doing this, we actually built the first fitness app on Sky Q, which was pretty incredible. If you go onto the Sky Q homepage, we're kind of wedged in between Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube. Again, you know, our tiny little startup from East London is kind of taking on these big names. So it's great to be next to them. We integrated with many of the most popular wearables, so we have strategical and integrated partnerships with both Fitbit and Samsung Watch, so just ensuring that we could be available on as many wearable devices as possible in which we truly believed Ali would be using. And then we are currently developing the world's first ever interactive TV fitness app. So at the minute, it's not interactive, the TV apps that we have, but in the coming months, it will be interactive, meaning that you'll be able to track all of your stats and see all of your metrics live on your TV app screen. And the fourth point was performance. So you know, we'd had 2 years worth of learning and understanding which marketing channels really worked for us. We still are learning. You should ever be learning when it comes to performance marketing, but really understanding where Ali was and being confident in our messaging to Ali was something that we really doubled down on in 2020. The second part of that was ensuring that we had a seamless journey once they came onto any of our platforms. So whether that was our website or through any 4 of our apps, we wanted to make that journey as seamless as possible. Very difficult to do because there's different elements that are involved, such as authentication, and each app's the sign-up process is fairly different. But we wanted to try and make sure that we were providing a seamless journey for someone to get into our product and start enjoying the content. And then we wanted to use our community to create network growth through compelling moments. So we built features such as, you know, after someone completes a class, they were able to take a picture of themselves and then share it via social media, and just, you know, enabling users to have a pat on the back when they were hitting some significant milestones. And one thing that we're finding in fitness is that a lot of the motivations do come from achievements and and the sense of achievement. That works a lot better for us than kind of traditional incentives, such as giving prizes away for hitting certain milestones. Users love to kind of talk about their progression and hear about their progression as well. So that was super quick. So in summary, focusing on those kind of 4 P's allowed us to elevate our brand offering at a critical moment. It was a very, very challenging year, but we're proud of the work that we achieved and that Fit was able to keep people happy and healthy during 2020 and the start of 2021. I guess next up, in short, is that we're looking to continue our mission on getting everyone around the world fitter and healthier. We'll be working with the gyms to ensure that, you know, we have to be customer centric, and we truly believe to be customer centric that you have to provide a digital and physical solution. So we're working with the likes of the Gym Group to come to a vision as to how that's going to look in the coming years. And at some stage, you know, we might be able to take a holiday, because I think our team is getting pretty tired right now. But it's been an incredible year. A very challenging year, obviously, for society. But, you know, as I've said, we were really happy that we were able to try and keep people happy and healthy during this difficult time. So I believe that there was a poll that was sent around, and I asked a question, which was, in the 2 years and 11 months since Fit was launched, what's the number of classes completed by our most active member? And I believe, James, correct me if I'm wrong, you go into your platform to be able to answer that poll. Or I can say what the options are now. So so option 1 is 700 classes completed. Option number 2 is 1,200 classes completed. And the third option is 1,500 classes completed. And I guess just ping me the answers as to which one you think it could be. So thanks for listening, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
Jimmy, thank you, Jimmy. That was great. Let us just, maybe you want to stop sharing your slides and we can have a little chat in a couple of minutes we've got. That was great. I think we made a bodge on the poll, actually. We set it up probably too early and then it's closed to answers. But looking here, in the 2 years since 11 months since Fit launched, what is the number of classes completed by most active members? So the people who were able to answer this, 14% said 700 classes, 38% said 1,200 classes, and 48% said 1,500 classes. And the correct answer is?
It's 1,500 classes.
Okay, so our audience got that right. So
well done.
Great. All right, Jimmy. Well, yeah, a couple of, I don't know if anyone's got any questions, we can try and take them now. So Diana is asking, this is a good question. How do you expect consumer behavior to change once the pandemic is over? What type of user will return to the gym, in what way and why?
Yeah, it's a great question. As I mentioned in the slides, like, we truly believe that the world has changed, and especially within fitness. We aren't saying that there isn't going to be any user that won't be utilizing digital fitness options, but we certainly believe that there's going to be an overall more of a hybrid behavior, so utilizing both physical and digital. There are some people that just aren't going to be able to get what they need through digital fitness. So for example, if you're someone that is going and doing tons of weight work, but we can't provide the equipment and the class content that someone like that is after. Then also, if you're someone that's on a different type of fitness journey, so if you're training for a marathon and you're having to get help from a PT or a physical community. That's something that we are going to struggle to replicate. So as much as I do believe that at the minute digital fitness has accelerated and a lot more people have learned about digital fitness and the benefits of digital fitness, I do believe that we're going to move into a world that's a bit more of a hybrid than we were before. We've got users that have come onto the platform that had never looked at home solutions. They thought at home workouts were very much like Jane Fonda of the past or Mr. Motivator, and they're a little bit cheesy. However, they've come onto our platform and they realize that they can get a killer 45-minute class that they would struggle to get at their boutique studio or their gym. So definitely a hybrid. I think digital fitness has accelerated and the narrative is getting more improved, but in some cases we aren't going to be able to replicate what the physical spaces can provide.
And good question from Andreas. He's saying some of the features you mentioned, like the leaderboards and so on, were you using any third-party frameworks or SDKs, or was that all homebrewed?
It's all built in-house. Yeah. So all of our features in the app are built by our amazing in-house engineering and product team.
Right. And Sammy is asking, similar kind of question really, with the interactive TV apps. Again, were you working with a specialist agency or was it all done in-house?
Yeah, it's all done in-house. Yeah, so we're working with Sky, but all of the development of the product itself is actually done by us in-house.
And Caroline is asking, financially, how has this East London startup managed to scale so quickly, bootstrap or investment, and how has that evolved?
Yeah, so yeah, we're VC funded currently. I mean, the last year has been particularly healthy for us, so we've not had to heavily rely on kind of getting more funding at this stage. However, we're likely to go out and look for more in the coming months. There's lots that we want to get done in the next year or so. So yeah, in summary, we are funded. And that's kind of currently where we're at.
And Yako is asking, Ratner is asking, in terms of the rollout, were you focusing on specific geographical niches, either city-based or I guess sort of wider, or was it kind of more general than that?
Yeah, I guess it was more general than that. When we launched the product, we heavily relied on kind of influencer marketing. So we brought on PTs that had a fairly significant following. We've kind of moved away from that now, and the PTs that we have on the platform are fundamentally the best PTs for their disciplines. But at the beginning, we used a lot more kind of influencer marketing. So it was kind of nationwide across the UK and Ireland, and we didn't really see any pockets of areas that were significantly more popular. So yeah, our kind of growth initiative at the very beginning was driven by performance marketing and influencer marketing specifically.
But that wasn't on a tightly targeted.
It wasn't on a tightly targeted geographical. Right. UK and Ireland is where we dropped the product first, right. And now we're available in most regions through the app stores.
Got it. And Andrew is asking, having allowed integrations with other brands and apps, many would worry this would dilute users' experience of your brand. How do you avoid this and maximize user engagement ongoing?
Well, all of the platforms that we've built our app on, it's still our Fit app. So we control the content, we control the branding, we control the look and feel. Everything's managed through us. It's just we want to be available on multiple platforms. So it's all Fit branded. We've designed everything in-house. We have ultimate control of the look and feel and the content that goes on there.
Great. And Safwan is asking, which I think is a good question, what are the key challenges in managing those sort of partnerships with Samsung, Fitbit and Sky? I mean,
very good.
I can imagine, yeah, the technical alone, such on something like Sky Q must be very difficult. But...
Yeah, I mean the technical challenges are, I think they're very common in any partnership, or any companies have technical challenges, but we've got smart enough people on both sides to be able to overcome them. I would say the biggest challenge that we have is that we are a startup. We move at a pretty quick pace versus some of the bigger organizations such as the likes of Samsung and Fitbit. They're a bigger beast. You're talking to multiple people across their business, and just the speed of working sometimes is, we're very ambitious, we've got tons of ideas, but we have to kind of work with these bigger organizations to make sure that we're prioritizing correctly and that we're filtering the work through at a pace that works for both parties.
Great. So there's a couple more questions. I'll let you maybe some of which you may or may not be able to answer, Jimmy. But maybe what I suggest is I'll let you maybe drop into the chat
Yeah.
after this, and maybe you can hoover up
Yeah.
any final questions. So if people do have any more questions for Jimmy, feel free to drop them in the chat now, and hopefully you can go along and pick them off one by one. I want to say a big thank you to Jimmy. He's sort of explained how busy and tired they all are. So we've given him this job of coming on here and having to prepare a presentation, but I'm really glad he did, because it's really inspiring for everyone to hear these success stories. It's really tough in an app market, and we always like it here at App Promotion Summit when people can share, some of the success and how they've got there, and that's really inspiring. So want to please give him a big virtual hand.
Thanks all.
Thanks everyone. All right, next up we've got we'll be talking to Muzmatch, so should be good too. So thanks, Jimmy.
Bye guys.